Hello?
Don, you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Why the fuck is what happened to everybody else? All these other people fucking signed up, and wait a minute, what the fuck? Watching Stephen Cross. Five people responded. Why isn't anybody? What the fuck happened to this thing? I think I'm on the wrong fucking one, Don. Fuck.
I see questions over there with Todd and Sam and shit.
I didn't want this kind of hang. I wanted everybody to be able to be on here. I wanted this to be a regular hangout where everybody could come on and talk. I could give them a fucking update on everything. I gotta have to give another link. See, now I'm starting to see viewers pop in. But that's not what I want.
Yeah, they can hear you.
Yeah, but this is like this is...
You gotta give everybody the same kind of link you gave me.
All right, this is the event. I want to give them... All right, let me see. I'm going to put this in. Guys, in the Skype group, in the League Gadget Owners group, I put another link. This is so everybody can talk and listen, at the same time, because this is a regular hangout. I don't know why it gave me a different link for everybody else. I wanted this so everybody else can hang out and get on here and talk and everything else. Because I didn't want it to be just me and Don, because Don's got to get off in 10 minutes. So pop on the link that I just put in there. Hey, wait a minute. How can I... Yo, Andrew, what's happening? Hey, Greg.
Hey, guys, I'm here.
I see Greg's on.
What's happening?
Cool. Andrew's on here. Where's Todd? Yeah, let me give Todd this link, too. I'll put it... Hey, Basham, I'm putting this one in your Skype.
Hey, how are you?
What's happening? Everybody that watch... All right, Sam's on here. Yeah, he's got the two hot chicks with him. Sam's a pisser. Let me see. Who are the other two viewers, Don? Can you see them? I can't.
Just Greg, Sam, Aaron, Todd, Andrea.
Wait a minute. Todd, I can't hear. I'm trying to figure. Use this link. Let me see. Use this.
You should see it in the Skype group anyway. You put it in there, right?
Yeah, I put it. It's in there 2-3 times now. Todd's trying to use the new link. He's having a problem. I don't know. Everybody else is. The allow button?
He's probably got to grant permission. He's never
Probably
been
got
on
grant
before.
permissions to the plug-in for the Hangouts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
My camera don't work.
All it does is give Google access to your computer and take all your information.
That's
What's
it.
new?
They steal all your money. The fuck?
Why doesn't my camera work? I closed Skype. Hate this thing.
None of my shit's fucking.
Well, you keep hitting. You're hitting like add webinar jam, add chat.
No, I know. I clicked that shit off. I was trying to get the other chat off. Trying to get Todd on here, motherfucker. Yo, bashhead. Aaron says, I can feel Brian swearing even though I can't hear him. But there's no but they.
Which one is this plugged into? I got too much crap on my desk.
Yeah, all you do is put a garbage can at the end of the desk and you take your arm across the desk and just swipe.
But then the things that might be important end up in the garbage.
Yeah, if you don't know they're there to begin with, they weren't important.
True. You're always right, Don.
Okay, who are the two viewers? I can't even see who they are. I guess that's Aaron and Todd.
Oh, no, I know Aaron's in there. There's Todd.
Todd's like, geez Louise. About time, bashhead.
Hi there. My God.
You say you knew how to make money. You didn't say you knew how to work Hangouts.
Now Aaron's
My
not here.
camera's working.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Aaron, you're going to have to figure it out.
I
Oh, Mike
got it.
Holland jumped on. There we go.
I got it.
What's going on, Mike? Yeah, you need to fix your microphone. Hey, Mike, fix your microphone. Yeah, you can mute it. You could do that, too. Okay, Aaron, you're going to have to figure it out. I don't know. Listen, guys.
He needs to refresh or something. I just closed everything out, cleared the cookies, refreshed, clicked the link back in. The allow button pops up. You can click it to get in.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you what, Todd. I don't know what you got for a picture, but that thing is sized like a billboard on the side of the road.
I can't see it. I have no idea what's there. My ugly face.
Just hit the camera and turn it off. It'll go away. It'll just put your image or something there.
Well, that's the image I'm talking about, Todd. I don't know what he had.
No, yeah, the
now his
actual camera
image
was
is on.
showing something, but it was just too close to it, whatever it was.
Yeah, it's a piece of paper.
Ryan, this is Michael. Can you hear me?
Now I can. There we go, Holland. What's happening?
Hey, man. Just decided to pop in and see what this was all about.
Well, let me tell you. Don hates when I do this, guys, because when I do these hangouts, he's always in the middle of some coding something. So he's only staying on for like another 5 minutes. Like, seriously? He's got shit to do.
I got so many things I'm coding and testing right now. It's insane. And then Brian does this spur of the moment hangout. Oh, come on.
So what we're really going to do here to begin with is we're just going to talk about for a minute, like with Don, like, what is he coding? like what's coming in Lead Gadget in the next week as far as updates go, and how are we going to help people with what they're building and what you're doing and all the rest of this stuff. Well, guess what? Don's going to give you, like, and I'm going to get, like, he's going to give you the list, then he's going to bounce, and then I'll tell you, like, what's going with it, why it's going to help. Like, he's working on, you want to tell him about the login button, Don? Or, you know, tell
Yeah, well, right now I'm writing the code right now to do a login button. So when you're looking at all your sites in the list view after they've been built, that you only have to click that button and automatically log into them, because I know that's an annoying thing to do sometimes.
My God, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, like next to the check index. We're talking about like next to the check index button and the promote button and the edit and that one. Yeah, it's going to be right there. So this way you can click the button and log right into the site. You know, go to WP admin and log in.
Yeah,
It should be able to
the only
pull
bad
your
thing
login and password.
the only bad thing about it is it will probably only work on sites as when I activate it. It'll probably work on only sites that have been built from then on.
Yeah, no problem.
And
Yeah, well,
you know,
but
go ahead.
the biggest thing we want to talk about, guys, is main WP. Main WP. See, a lot of people keep asking about stats, and you know, you want to figure out what sites are kicking ass for you, so you can clone them, and the other ones you can just deep six, trash them.
Yeah. So
You know, one of the biggest things.
go ahead.
Go ahead, Don. You tell.
Oh, no, the only thing I was
go
going to
ahead.
say is we're basically coding in it where there's going to be a button in there, and you're allowed to have one instance of main WP, and what it's going to do is go on another server that you guys don't have to worry about paying for, and that's going to set up an instance of main WP for you so that you can actually add all your sites to it, because the child plugin will already be in the builds. So it'll basically be click a button, it creates the main WP set up for you on a server on a subdomain, and then you can log into that and add any of your sites that you want to add.
That's like wicked cool, because everybody wants to look at traffic. Everybody wants to, like, too many people keep looking to like adding new plugins and stuff, and you can now do it from one control spot. Like literally one place, you can run different groups of your sites. As an example, like Todd has different categories, right, Todd? Of different kinds of sites and stuff that you do, right? In different niches.
Yep.
So when you have, let's think about it like that for like what Todd has. So if he's got niche 1, he can put all those sites in niche 1 and say he wants to do something with it, like he wants to drip new content because they're only for the state of Arkansas builds and they're really small. And you want to add something to it. Say you want to add, I don't care, think of any niche, I don't care, like roofing, okay? And say you want to put a new ad up or something else about roofing just in those sites. Well, they can be all categorized, and you can just shoot out one piece of spinner content, as an example, that's about roofing, and put it on, like, 40 sites that you have, just so it adds more content to the site. So hopefully that'll get indexed as well for sites that are doing well or that are in need. Maybe they're AdSense sites and you want to add more to them, so this way you can also get a better rating on the site, so you can get paid more from AdWords, from Google.
A lot of people that just want to be able to experiment too, so that just gives them the ability to in a little bit easier way. Because I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I built the site, it's gonna be a 30,000 page site, and I ain't touching it again. But there's a lot of people that want to.
I mean, guys, this is personal, just so you really do get it. Like with me, I give less than a rat's ass, straight out. I build with one pack list, and that is the USA 30K list. That is in the only pack list that is inside of my ATMs. And I've got multiple ones because of the way I do stuff. And to be very blunt with you on that, That's because I don't care. Just make it rank and let
I
it
guess
go.
you could say the one good thing is, though, is if a plugin or something we find out later, you find out that it has an exploit or some vulnerability that comes out, at least you'll be able to update that plugin through main WP on all the sites at once.
I have a quick question.
What?
I have a quick question. So this is going to give us stats. Is there any way to program it so that it'll just email us the stats? I prefer
Well,
to
main
go in and check.
WP, that has to do with main WP.
I mean, if you do something where you use like a Pywick plugin or something on there, then you can definitely get Pywick to do it.
Oh, okay.
Because Pywick will automatically send you stats, but I'll have to take a look and kind of think about that. Right now, I've mainly been focused on just getting it integrated more than some of those things. But stats-wise, like say for instance, if you put the Jetpack on there from WordPress.
Yeah, but let me give you a better one here. So we're going to say that we're going to give you an example that you have main WP. You can go in there and just sort. Literally open it up and sort by like the sites with the most traffic to the sites with the least traffic, and it'll just put them right in order for you.
Can do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I know what you're saying. I was just asking because I really I'm like you. Once I build a site, I really just it's going to be done. I don't want to think about it. I'd rather just.
That's the whole point of trying to give you that one control panel to look at to overview all the sites at once and not have to sit there and play around with going into each site or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to log in anything. I'd rather just say, okay, download the report, see what's.
Yeah, but Mike, there's a difference. You've been around a long time and you understand it. You finally got it into your head that it's like, oh yeah, okay, this is the way. Walk, do it and walk away. But if you look at the Skype chats and a bunch of the tickets that we've been getting lately, it's like people don't get it. It takes them a while. Like, people are asking questions about
it's very hard. It's very hard for a person to comprehend after they've been on different forums and bought different products and everything to build a site and walk away from it and not log in again. That's like almost like heresy.
It's ADD. They gotta have serious ADD. I gotta go in my site. I just gotta get in it and see what it's doing and update the plugins. Like, I don't even give a shit about them. Like, I build them, and everybody wants to use this iMacros to do the cleanup. The cleanup takes 90 seconds.
Right.
I mean, literally. Like, I go in it, click, 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 click. I'm done.
I did it before when we had a bunch of sites go out where it was like 100 sites, and we were doing something, we moved a bunch of stuff or something. And I made an iMacros to do that because I wasn't going through 100 of them at one shot. But other than that, I could care less about logging into them in 2 seconds, especially once the button's in there.
Yeah. Well, Brian, what got me is when I read your last that was I guess your text rant where you said build this many sites and here's kind of a rough idea of how much income you can expect. And I looked at that, so okay.
Right.
So basically that's like $1 a day per site, and I was like, oh shit, I got to start building some sites because if I'm just farting
Mike,
around
that's
with
what
a site,
it is. That's what it is.
on average per site.
That's what it really is, and it's actually $2. I kind of figured out it's closer to $2, right? But here's the problem with that: people think you put up 20 sites and you're supposed to have $20 already, or you're supposed to have $40.
Right?
Like,
You don't know.
Because the way the 80-20 rule works, like Big Happy has that out, and he gets it, and like when he started with us, he could barely turn a computer on. And I love the dude. I'm not trying to, hit him with any kind of like slam him or anything like that. But I mean, Kevin's like, he's awesome. Like, he finally gets it, like you do, Mike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so when you got an 80-20, here's the difference. Watch, Todd. You've been building thousands of sites.
Got a bunch of them.
Okay, so the 80-20 rule, when you turn around and put 100 sites up, there are days that you might only get 10 sites afterwards that crank it out. But there are other blocks of 100 you'll put up where 35 or 40 will hit it for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the way it works.
but you know what the problem is? People are still like, well, I put 10 sites up, so I should at least have 2 or 3 of them going. I mean, there are days, no shit, I'll put 50 up, and I'll have 0 that work.
Just people have the
0.
mentality of almost like when you're building like an e-commerce site and you're trying to just keep going back and add stock and make sure it works perfect, the SEO is perfect, make sure you're trying to make all your money from that one site. People were in that mentality no matter what. That's the problem when they first start out.
And that's why I try and tell people it's really over time, though. Like me and Don, we've been doing this for so long that the 80-20 rule is a really good one. And, you know, sometimes the thing that pisses me off, to be very blunt, is Don will put out like 7 or 8 sites, and like 3 or 4 of them will kick ass. And I'll put out like 17 sites, and I might get lucky and get 2 of them that'll do all right. And he really gets me with that shit. And we're using, you know, and it's just like, it's not like he's really doing anything different, because we were doing like with Vibrant, you know, we were doing the same shit, and I was just crushing it for some things, and he was crushing it too, and we were using the same stuff, you know, same content, same everything, keyword list, tags, everything. But now you go into other, you know, more saturated fields. But that's something else that's like bullshit, to be honest. Everybody keeps talking about, oh, if we're all going after roofing and we're all going after plumbing and ring partner, we're going to be crushing each other. And I'm like, seriously? Like, how many, you know, like, you know how many keywords are out there?
Google doesn't actually give up the keywords much, but there's still some browsers and some devices where the keyword comes through anyway. If you ever take a look at like your news stats or something that's been sitting there for a while, you look at some of those keyword combinations that brought people to your sites. I mean, this shit's just all kinds of different things that there's no way everybody's button heads. Yeah. It's impossible.
You know, seriously, that's like saying, you know, we got 100 people going after plumbing this month, and they're each building 100 sites, and nobody's gonna, you know, everybody's gonna stomp each other. It's like, really? I'll go after long tail keywords that nobody goes after, and then I'll go after the stuff that everybody's going after, but I'll rank before them. And if I don't give a shit. I'll just go after something else. You know, it's too easy to.
Everybody's got something different in their content, which always results in different keyword phrases and everything combinations.
You know, but guys, we want nothing. Me and Don, like, we want nothing else but to see everybody succeed. You know, we like when people are on, you know, like Greg and everybody.
I don't know. Did everybody lose Brian?
Questions. And I'll say something. He comes on, he puts these nice comments out and stuff. But let me tell you something, guys. Todd, he's the monster builder. Monster builder. And when he turns around and sees stuff and he goes after it, and, you know, now with, you know, Lead Gadget having all the extras stuff that's in there, it's like super killer.
Yeah, we'll end up having Spin Rewriter integrated again too. I've done it about 80 million times on Dev, but we use CK Editor for the WYSIWYG inside of Lead Gadget. And for some reason, CK Editor and Spin Rewriter are having there's a problem. So I'm trying to work on that.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
It's 50 cents.
All right, I'll put it into the slot. Ching. Look, yeah, I'm hearing you, and you know, I'm a newbie in this, the whole ATM, and I've only been on for a few weeks. and just getting ready to crank things out. And yeah, I'm probably guilty for asking a lot of stupid questions, but
Only
a lot of
stupid
the
people, Greg. Only stupid people. No stupid questions.
yeah, sometimes I'm a bit of a stupid person, but that's why I guess I ask so many questions. But I guess one of the things, like, just coming in sort of fresh like this, and as Don was saying there before, it's when you've had a background in checking stats on everything, making sure everything's live, it is difficult to sort of sever those ties. Once you've press the deploy button to walk away, especially when you start looking at going, well, gee, what am I doing here? Is this actually going to be working? And I realize, obviously it starts to work when you start to get the calls being made and you start to make money. But I guess the thing that I guess a lot of people struggle with is like committing the whole thing to trust. And I mean, just today, I've just decided to go out and do exactly what Brian's been showing me to do this morning. So I've bought 10 like .coms and then 10 XYZ. So I've got 20 sites, and I'll start building that in
Hold
one
on,
of the
you don't
particular
have 20,
offers.
you got 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to be building the subs, so that will be 20 and then 80
5
subs.
to each. 5
Yeah.
to each sub, yeah.
And
That's something else that Don's working on, guys, is trying to get some of these subs indexed a little bit quicker for everybody. It's not as easy. Some people, it's easy to get them indexed. Some people, it's not. So we
it's just a thing. I mean, when a lot of people, the problem was they started out with that, where it's a great idea and all when you're in a cycle like Darren Blair or somebody who's building 60, 70 sites a day. But the problem that everybody was running into is they're leaving the main domain blank, and we're just building subs on each one of the domains, like 5 different subs. And if you do that, it's all fine and dandy if you get yourself into a cycle. But the problem is, it takes about 8 to 12 weeks sometimes to get those subs to actually index when they're built like that. But if they're built on a main domain, it doesn't take that long. When the main domain's built out and you build the subs, it doesn't take that long. So I was telling everybody to just make sure they build on main domains when they first come in, so that they can start getting the money coming in quicker.
And when you say main domains, you do mean the www.
No,
main domain.
www is a subdomain. We mean the core. Okay.
Yeah, it's still a sub.
HTTP.
So just basically, www. Obviously, Google knows enough to know that that's a subdomain, but it also can be part of the main, the main domain itself. It technically will rank a www like it will. It'll index it. If you have www at the beginning of it, it's going to index that just as fast as it would if you didn't have www. Right. But just because they know enough to do that, obviously, but. Typical subdomains.
You're saying that you just build, the first one on the W's, and then the next subdomains. That's going to be enough to get the first one indexed.
We don't build on the W's. Right. We build on the regular main domain.
On the root.
Yeah. If you build the subs, if you build on subs like after your main domain's indexed or anything, your subs and stuff will actually index faster if you do subs on them. But if you leave the main domain blank, they won't. It takes them often 8 to 12 weeks.
Right, so the root domain.
Right, yeah. The root domain.
Now, getting back to my question there before, that was, I've completely forgotten. Okay, next person. I just wasted my 50 cents.
So Don, what are you planning if you do build on the root? Well, what's the timing of getting the subs, then index?
It's still... a lot of times what happens is when Google first looks at it, like you'll see something funny. If you do a site, site colon and do a check on your root domain, so oftentimes you'll see that start going way up after you've added subdomains and built on them, and you'll check the sub and the sub won't show.
Right.
But then eventually the sub will show when you're doing a site, but it takes, typically when you have the subdomains on a domain that's already built and indexed and you add the subs, it doesn't take very long, especially if you go into the main domain and put a link on it or something to the subdomain. But you can get the sub, I would imagine, probably, it's going to be a few weeks quicker. I know that at least.
Okay, cool.
I remember my question now. and it goes like this. Okay,
It goes a
so
little something like this.
we're building out these 30,000 post websites, and what I'm hearing is that, like, don't waste your time going after the keywords that obviously everybody else is going after, but get out there, chase the long tail down. How does that just on an average? And I know there may be no average here, but just want to get an idea out of a 30,000 post site, one that's doing well. How many visits would that be expected to get a day out of 30,000? So I'm just trying to get an idea of just how far you can push that long tail out.
When I've taken a look at a lot of these sites, what you'll find out is some of those sites will do anywhere from, you might have some of them only doing 25 visitors a day. You might have some of them that are doing 145. You might have some of them that are doing 300. It'll range. I mean, it'll go all over the board.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a little. First of all, I'm gonna give you the numbers. Here they are. I don't know, because it depends what niche you're in.
I mean, I've looked at a lot of them. I mean, I've looked at them a lot. I've looked at them a lot, Greg, and I can tell you that I've seen plenty of them getting 25 to 45 visitors a day off of one of them. But then there's plenty of them that I've seen that have also done over 300 visitors a day. But those are rare. I mean, when you hit those 300 visitor a day stuff, you better be hitting that damn recycle button.
Like, seriously, like like when we talk about the 80-20 rule, Greg, and it's like the 20 sites that are kicking ass. When you see those kind of sites, you fucking copy them so quick. You don't stop for any reason in the world at that moment.
Yeah, just annihilate
because those are the ones that are going to make you stupid bank. They're going to make you real good money. Now,
obviously, as long as the friggin' whatever you're targeting is actually something that actually converts.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of sites in different verticals that have actually gotten 350 visitors a day, but they don't convert for shit because a lot of these were in like CPA offers, and the pages that were being displayed in like overlayer and stuff were just shit and didn't convert well, because a lot of people don't realize, like, people that go into CPA stuff, and different types of networks, like they'll go after like a skin cream or something, and typically like a skin cream anti-aging type friggin' landing page, that thing doesn't convert for shit because you have to pre-sell that.
Yeah, that's why I'd love to get a snapshot traffic summary report mailed to me.
Well, let me tell you. Let me try and give you guys a little help here.
Sites, it's going to be a little tough.
All right, hold on, Mike. Hold on. Like, I got Andrea Fulton on, right? So let me try and. She is like the queen of solo ads and all this other stuff. Like, seriously, she's killer with that. So one of the things that Dan Kurtz did, about 6 months ago, I remember he was on top of this. Maybe it's a little longer. He turned around and he put out 10 sites with the ATM on MMA. I don't know if anybody watched the fights this weekend. They were pretty kick-ass. Watching Conor McGregor get beat up by Nate Diaz was fucked up, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, but when you think about it, okay, if you make a site and you want to start making a list, you can turn around now very easily with the ATM and just create things that are going to bring people into a landing page, okay, that you're going to just get on a list. So you're not necessarily selling them a product or a service or anything that day, but you're getting them on your list so you can sell them a product or a service or multiple products and services going down the line. And what we found is a lot of people, a lot of that traffic are very easy to go, they're very easy to give an email real quick, find out more.
It's a pretty easy thing like there when you're talking about stuff like we were talking about the skin cream. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of that comes from email, the conversions on those. So people, what they do is they build a list in that vertical, which is just about which is just based on women when it comes to like anti-aging and different types of skin cream, and they'll give a free like ebook or something, collect all the email addresses, then they'll nail them with all the CPA offers because now they're already primed.
Yeah, especially if you give them a free ebook or something on how to stay looking beautiful and young, the anti-aging cream, and all the rest of it. Oh my God!
Yeah, we
I
get
say he buried
every
shit.
every time we put out a site for tattoos, we always see Andrea's name in it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, I had to start this a little bit later because Blind Spot was on. I love that show. It's the only woman that has more tattoos than Andrea.
Oh, stop.
Listen, one of the other things that we're looking to do inside of Lead Gadget that Don and I have spoken about, and we're trying to do, is we're trying to get more companies that want to buy leads. And when I say companies that want to buy leads, like you guys might have noticed, Darren Perkney is doing a case study right now in PPL Army. Now, Darren's a great dude. I mean, I had a long conversation with him. And, he's doing some stuff right now. And I got to tell you guys, it's pretty friggin' cool when you get a guy of his caliber that's jumping on and doing a case study inside of Lead Gadget and telling everybody that he's doing this, like he announced it this morning, that he's doing this case study and it's open for everybody. But the other thing that PPL Army is really, really good for is finding places to sell your leads. And when I say finding places, I mean there are a lot of people in there that own companies that want to buy them, and they're or have customers that want to buy the leads. And that's the one thing that I would like to get more of in at Lead Gadget is people that have customers that are looking to buy more leads. Now, whether they're phone leads or zip submit leads or form fill leads, whatever the lead's about, for whatever it is, if you have clients, get them, and you need help getting them leads, well, just say something, guys. Like, seriously, get to me or get to Don, and we'll turn around, and we know who's, killing it, and who's going to work and actually try and get you those leads, and we'll do something for you. We'll make sure that it goes through. I know that there's a lot of people that are using Ring Partner right now, and we love Ring Partner. Make no mistake about it. Don and I are very close with them. I actually have a call with them tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, I was supposed to have it today, but they had, Taylor had hell in a handbasket handed to him. But I'll be with them tomorrow, and we're trying to get a little bit more of a bump for the organic leads from the people in Lead Gadget because they convert so high. Now, that's something else I wanted to bring up. A lot of people, Don answered somebody the other day about this. Me and Don, we go with the 30,000 and we don't care. But we also have the lists, and unfortunately, they won't be done before JV Zoo's Market Mayhem in a week and a half or 10 days from now, 9 days from now. Yeah, Andrea. But guys, the problem with using the USA 30K list is they might only be 5,000 cities and zip codes that they have buyers for leads on, and you might be ranking in 20,000 cities, and those 20,000 cities you're ranking in, not one of them is any good for a lead to who the buyers are, because you got a 30,000 list. So all of a sudden you're going to see like 100 calls and 0 friggin' conversions. Well,
yeah, exactly. A lot of podunk towns.
I'm sorry?
A lot of podunk towns.
Exactly, Mike. And where there's 0.0 interest in getting whatever, a roofing done or whatever, the tow truck, it doesn't make a difference. The fact of the matter is, we can help you get these lists, and you can make these custom lists within the ATM. I mean, Elizabeth can help you guys in a heartbeat with that. And as soon as we make them, these lists, these pack lists, you know, Don, maybe we could just do it that way instead of so they can insert them. Why don't we just put them inside of the forum so they can at least grab them from now? You know, we could do something like that, don't you think?
I could probably put them in there. My whole idea was to eventually make it so it was a button so you could import them that way. I didn't have to do anything. I only had to, either that or like a global list of some type, because I didn't want to. I know that the zip codes are going to change.
Oh, yeah?
You know, we like to do that for a couple of guys. You know, it's nothing new. But guys, if you get main WP, you know, you guys realize main WP is coming in. And it might not be coming in the way we really want it, like fully integrated within Lead Gadget inside the ATM, but we'll at least send out the child plugin with every build, so you can get the main plugin, you know, right from us, and that's free. Like, you guys, there's only a few plugins that you would have to pay for. And it's like once and done, and they're cheap. They're like $29 or something like that. And I don't even think you guys would need more than like 1 or 2 plugins, really. That's just the way I see it. But
Hey Brian, listen, don't make me think. I'm trying to turn into a robot on this stuff, man. Don't make me think.
Here's the thing. Look, I know what you're saying, Mike. I like it when people turn into a robot, because you got it. You get it. You know, you understand it. The problem is I was on with a nice lady tonight. Her name is Annie. She just started the other day, and she's having some issues. You know, and when you try and help people, sometimes it gets very difficult, because you have people from all walks of life, from all different parts of the world, and, you know, it gets to be a pain in the fucking ass, to be honest with you. But you want to, like me and Don, we only want to do the best by everybody. We don't care. Like, Don's a lot better than I am at writing, so a lot of times when there comes to, you know, somebody needs to be answered in writing, I'll ask him to handle that, because, you know, it's like we always goof, I crash the train, because I don't write very well. Sometimes people read my posts and they don't get them. They think I'm being, like, harsh to them, but I'm not trying to be, you know, and that is something, like, I got to work on. But to be honest, I don't have time if I'm trying to help a lot of people. And, you know, and I was on with Annie, and she's a sweetheart. Okay, I think she's out of Canada, an Indian lady out of Canada. Really, really nice. But she doesn't get, like, a lot of the stuff. And I hooked her up, and she got her first domain in finally, and then I built, like, 5 subdomains for her on it. She was like, oh, all happy and everything else. And that's great. I wanted to be happy. She was very kind, put a nice post in Facebook, said thank you, all the rest. And I appreciate that. I really do. But I got to have it more easier for, you know, the masses, so to speak. Go ahead, Don.
I was just going to say, anybody have anything they wanted to ask me or anything? Because I got a bail here.
Hey, Don, I just want to give you a quick shout out. You probably don't hear enough, but the way you've integrated with the server and Cloudflare and with the cPanel stuff gone, I mean, that is freaking magical, man, compared to what I thought it was pretty good before. Now it is just brainless simple now.
Can I ditto that?
Thank you for that.
I got
You know, it's funny you say that, and let me bring
Thanks,
that up, Don, before you bounce. I didn't tell you about this, but, you know, it was funny. Mike Pierce, who's been a member of Lead Gadget for a very, 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 very long time now, like a year, whatever. You know, he told Don, he goes, just the integration of Cloudflare with as much time as it saved, okay, made it worth the $247 a month. You know,
yeah. Mike does a lot of freaking domains. He was like, yeah, I would have paid $247 a month just to have that.
You know, because you think if you're paying $10 a day even for a VA, you know, for somebody out of the Philippines, and you have them 5 days a week, just think of that for a month. Okay, that's $200, right? Well, what he said is they couldn't even keep up in the 8 hours, putting all the domains in there and then building all the subdomains and everything else. Where now they're done in seconds. You don't even need a VA to do it anymore. You do it yourself, and it's like snap and it's finished. Well,
Yeah. A
I
lot of
was
people,
on with
a lot of people have asked, and they're like, "Yeah, but there's like a cPanel plugin that'll do that." But the cPanel plugin leaves all kinds of holes, and it leaks the IP like a friggin' train.
see the other thing that's a big problem that you guys don't get is the exploits within cPanel are stupid. I mean, absolutely stupid. They you know, we have a customer who had 1,000 Surfshaker sites that he came over from Surfshaker because he couldn't take it anymore. Just couldn't stand it. He had 1,000 sites all hacked. Every one of them was garbage, could not rebuild, and he says that's the breaking point. He said I couldn't take it anymore. He came, he goes, you guys got it on the ball. He said now, he goes, can I move the domains over, at least that were hacked, so I can rebuild them on Lead Gadget? We're like, yeah, sure, no problem. So he took the same content he had and everything, he punched in the domains, and he started rebuilding them that way. And he got very fortunate. You know, it took him a month. It's taken him a month, but he's put out a ton of those sites now, and he said, you know, they're not getting hacked. He said, I didn't even change the password. He said, yeah, well, that's because it's cPanel's the problem. Server Pilot doesn't have these exploits. You know, they're really, really, Justin, the CEO over there, is like a really good dude.
Well, I mean, one of the
guys,
one of the big vulnerabilities with cPanel is the fact that once you have a cPanel account, and let's say you add domains, you know, add-on domains to your cPanel account, the problem is if they exploit one directory, they can run right through every one of the directories for your sites that you have in that single cPanel account. Where Server Pilot, you don't run into that. It creates all separate accounts. I actually made it create all separate accounts for every domain. Even it's even a separate account when you create a subdomain. So once site gets hacked, they don't all go to hell.
Well, just kudos, dude, on that. Kudos for sure.
You know, I showed the other day. I showed somebody. All right, let me, because I don't want to give away his name, but I did a training with somebody the other day, private training, and this person is you guys are going to know who he is soon enough anyway, because he's going to announce it and everything else. And I showed him, we connected his server, and then I showed him how easy it was to put a domain in. He asked me, after we put 6 domains in that he had, we changed the name servers to his Cloudflare name servers, and he had these domains in his account for 11 months, and he never built anything. He never even had index pages on them. They were all parked. All 6 of them were parked. So we put all 6 domains in, and then we turned around. We put all 6 domains in, and then we put 5 subdomains on 3 of them. And we did all of that in about, I think it was about 8 minutes. Literally, not figuratively, literally 8 or 9 minutes. And when I showed him that they were all live on the web, that they saw the index pages and everything else, he was like in shock. Like he was like, well, wait a minute, don't I have to? I said, no, it's all done. You did it in the ATM and it's all done. Guys, the amount of time.
Hey, I'm just going to cut in here real quick because I'm bailing. So,
yeah, okay. Hey, Don, thanks for being on. I should have let you go 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, Don.
No problem. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks, Don.
Okay.
See, what you guys don't get is if the amount of time that saves you alone, just that alone, you have to think about it for a minute. Hey, Todd, you know, you've got hundreds, thousands of domains.
Yeah, I got
How
it.
much time do you think that saves you a month? Not a week, a month. How many hours a month do you think that saves you the way that you can build them in the ATM now?
It's awesome. It's fast. It saves a ton of time.
No. I'm asking like in your opinion because you built everything in your network. Okay,
Right.
and cPanel and everything else.
Still
How
doing
much
it.
time from when you buy? How much time do you think that saves you versus cPanel?
I'll put it this way. I spent the last two, not today, but the previous 2 days, working on another, working with Surfshaker, honestly. Still trying to get rid of
Okay.
some crap over there, and to just load the domains or the name servers and pulling the whole thing together frustrated the piss out of me. Just literally frustrated the piss out of me. Last couple of weeks I've been building on Lead Gadget, and so it's like the parentheses versus the double brackets versus it's crazy. Lead Gadget is so much easier. It's I don't know. It's the gold version of what it needed to be. Really cool. I know I wasted 2 days of stuff that I could have done inside a Lead Gadget in just a couple of hours at the most.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, I got a question.
go ahead.
Now, it's a theoretical question here because I haven't reached the point of seeing how this unravels with, seeing traffic come in and then seeing, calls being made and sales and making money. What I'm hearing is that you've got to take the ones that are doing well and recycle them. Now, my question is this: if we're just looking at the traffic coming in and say, okay, these ones are getting lots of clicks, right? People are landing on this page, etc. How do we know whether or not they're converting? If, let's say, we've got the same phone number sitting on, 20 different sites for the offer, how do we know which site is making the call to then go and scale it and recycle it?
Oh, that's easy. Okay, you can look at your traffic. I mean, the traffic is what's going to tell you.
Inside Ring Partner. Traffic is
Inside
Right.
Ring Partner, you can see that too, because it's going to show which you got
Which
to
site?
right.
Yeah.
That you got to remember, this site is a referrer to that
Got you.
overlay. That
Okay.
site refers is no it shows my site one dot xyz is the referrer to this one and it shows that.
Okay, so we don't need any sub IDs or any of this kind of
no,
stuff when.
no,
Okay.
no, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nah,
Greg,
you're good.
So,
best piece
because
of advice you can get, Greg. Go
Yeah.
build about 10 or 15 of them, and then go build 10 or 15 of them and keep building. I'm telling
right.
you.
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
gonna,
Look,
you've been
I
at two.
get that.
I've been in.
I'm working on it.
Hold on,
Um,
Greg. Let him finish. You
I've
gotta
been in and
listen.
out of. I've been in this game a long time
Yep.
with SEO, and I'm one of those guys. Not overthinking it, but I do. I do overthink it. I've been at it quite a while. I've got a lot of local clients, and I do several other things. You do not need the traffic. The traffic will be there if you follow the plan. Is what I'm trying to spit out. If you got 4 or 5 paragraphs, 300-400 words of content, you throw some keywords in it, and you got your tags, and you got a title, and you clean it up and go to the next one. Literally, do them in mass. Do 5 of them at a time, or do one domain, the root domain, and 5 subdomains at the same time.
Yep.
So that gives you 6 sites. So if you can walk through that process, you'll go nuts trying to hurry up so you can get to the next one. It becomes addictive, dude. It really does. When something starts ranking, you'll know it. If you're going to follow this Ring Partner, there's the Amazon landers or even AdSense. If you don't have an AdSense account, get an AdSense account. There's some things that just it's worth it. I call it my play money, but I can play really hard and long. Okay.
Yeah.
And I seriously mean that. I love AdSense. I've been doing that for years. But this system, or if you want to call it a system, Lead Gadget, is kick butt for AdSense. And it well, just lead generation, anything else. Don't. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't get bogged down in just the ring partner. Okay, there are
Oh yeah.
other methods out there for sure. But do one and get good at it if you want to, and then jump into another one. But literally, AdSense. Then you check your account once or twice a week, and you see what's getting the what site's getting the clicks over in AdSense, and you'll know that you're getting traffic. Then you can go scale that one up. Do 5 or 6 more domains in that, and go on to another one. So that's to see the yearly results. AdSense is really quick to do it. Whereas Ring Partner, you might have 300 calls, only one converts. You just won't understand why it's not converting, and there's thousands of reasons for that. But AdSense is a lot easier to pat yourself on the back and keep you going. It really is.
Yeah, that's great, Todd. I just managed to get an AdSense account set up just in the last week. I've been trying for several years after they banned my account there. How long ago? Maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I was, I had a whole bunch of sites set up, and something went through that wasn't approved by them, and they sent me a warning, and I thought that was a spam email, so I ignored it. And then, basically it was saying, we're shutting down your AdSense account in 3 days unless you remove this piece of content.
Okay.
And of course, 3 days later, I then say, oh, that's funny, I got that same spam email again, and it's like, oh, just lost all my AdSense sites. And every time I've tried to get it back, it's failed. But this time I did it through my wife's name, and I got another one. So yeah, I'm definitely going to build a bunch of those as well.
I've got a handful of it. Okay, it's not
Yeah.
hard to get. It's not hard to get a new AdSense account. So
Yeah.
there's
Brilliant.
ways around it. We can chat later if you get that
Yeah.
point. I would just tell you when you get to 1,000 to maybe even up to $1,500 to $2,000 a month, don't put all your eggs in the same basket. Get another account. So.
Yeah. Okay. Good idea. Yeah. Hey, look, here's something that I've just worked out today. You guys may be doing it, maybe have other ways of doing it, but I was working with another network, and they had supplied
Which one?
like the offer. It's probably like a private one, direct web advertising. It's through Invoker. This is the guy that kind of got me started with the pay-per-call stuff, and he's been sort of pestering me. He was one of my SEO clients there for about 6 months last year, and he kept telling me, oh, Greg, you've got to get into this pay-per-call stuff, and I'm just thinking, like, what are you talking about? And so I told him I had a bunch of sites and, was doing various things, and finally he sort of got my attention, when was it? Probably towards the end of late last year, and that's when I started doing some SERP Shaker stuff. And anyway, he supplied me with one of his clients there, and they had a really good, landing page. It was mobile responsive. It had multiple pages. It's a home services, so we got plumbing, electrical, roofing, pest, and heating and cooling all in one. And so I started to just hack away with my CSS skills to try and do like I normally do with the landers, making them mobile responsive for all the different formats. And it was driving me nuts because I sort of started with their HTML and CSS, and I was going nutso with it. And I thought, wait a minute, why don't I just grab the old site sucker, suck it down, do a find and replace, put my phone numbers in there, and then just upload it to my server. Well, bingo, bada boom. 20 minutes later, fully working site that's just, it's going to, from my experience, it's going to convert really well, because people that come along, and sometimes, you get the suspicious ones if you've just got a bit of a lander that doesn't sort of go anywhere. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that one. It's a really fast way of, taking an offer landing page, from the actual, let's call it the merchant, and customizing it with your own stuff without having to dig too deep into code and blah, blah, blah with CSS and hacks and what have you. And, it seems to be working.
Good. Where'd you go, Brian?
Brian is so knocked out by my idea, he's just run off to go and do it.
Hey, Brian, I have a question for you.
I don't know what the heck's happening here.
Can you hear me, Brian?
I can hear you, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, that's what happened. I can hear you.
Oh, hey Brian, when did you say those 5,000 city lists are going to be issued?
Well, it's not a 5,000 city list. It's you can get them from Taylor now. Like if you want to get from Taylor the spreadsheets, he's got them now. He'll give you the spreadsheets, and you can make those lists yourself. Like you can make the custom list yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking that's really going to save a lot of space as far as on the server. So that'll be good.
Hey, here's a question just in regards to, because I've only got one server at the moment, but I'm obviously going to be grabbing another one pretty soon if I'm building these 100 sites. So I want to be able to do this like daily and not, only 50 sites a week. But just say for the rest of this week here, I've got my 50 sites on one server with the promote button. Can anyone sort of add some clarity on how to do that so we're not melting down the server? Like, do we spread out each site, these 50 sites, across 5 days, so that's 10 a day, every, basically a site every couple of hours? What's the correct way of doing the promote?
When you're done, the correct way of using the promote button is simple. As soon as you finish building your site and you're done with the cleanup and you're happy with it, you're happy with the site, you immediately, right after that, click the promote button.
That's it.
That's it. So that's simple.
Now, perfect. Thank you. This cleanup, there's a cleanup plugin in there. Is this what we're talking about when you say cleanup?
No, not at all. Isn't there a video in the quick start that talks about the cleanup? You go and you turn the plugins on. The first thing you do.
There is.
Okay, I'll get back to that. Don't worry, that's fine. No need to go over it. But if there's a video there for the cleanup, I'll just watch that. Sorry, don't want to waste anyone's time.
That's pretty important. The first thing you got to do is save your permalinks. All right.
Oh yeah. I'll do that straight away.
That's it. I mean, it's really I got to tell you guys something. The cleanup really. That's it. Like, you don't have to do anything else but save the permalinks. But if you want to use WP Overlayer, you got to turn it on. If you want new stats to work, you got to turn it on. If you want to send it to the, you got to do that stuff. But the only thing that you're required to do is the permalinks. Nothing else is a requirement. Super Cache, you should turn it on right away. But it's not a requirement. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Any more questions?
I'm done.
Really?
I've got some building to do here.
I'm only teasing, Greg. You know that.
Hey, Brian,
all right, look, guys. God.
Brian, another question for you. Hey, does it matter? Let's say that the landing page is just hosted on a different domain.
No.
Let's say you're creating a new domain. Does it matter if you set it so that the spiders index that new domain, or should you just leave it and tell the spiders not to?
What do you mean?
Like in your WordPress theme, you can set it to where you can tell the spiders not to index a domain.
Never do that.
No.
Never do that.
That's a disaster.
If you're talking about building a lander page on a domain name, and you've built another site or a dozen sites, and you want to use WordPress Overlayer to grab that domain that has the lander on it for their lander page, and take that URL and put it in over the WordPress Overlayer on other domains.
Right.
The one you're building the lander on, you don't want that one to index necessarily, and that's okay, but that's way overthinking it, buddy.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about the lander being indexed, as long as it has a call to action. See, here's the problem. The only downfall of WP Overlayer is simple. Once you put whatever domain you put in, it's going to shoot It's going to shoot a backlink for every page post you have.
Yep.
Every one of them to that, whatever that site is. So if the site's de-indexed, you're not going to harm it. Okay, it doesn't matter.
I do just that for a really simple lander. I heard, I guess Greg go through, Site Sucker or whatever. I take 2012, put it on a domain, a cheap XYZ or whatever else,
Right.
and just build a page. Just use full width, no sidebars, and you can drag pictures in and plug in whatever you want, and you're done in like 2 minutes.
Right.
That's for certain.
I think
All right,
Brian,
listen, guys.
Brian saw one of those, didn't you?
Huh?
You just saw one of those landers I did, didn't you? That link I sent you the other
Oh
day.
yeah, no, I saw one of them you got.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I did.
Yep.
So
Let me tell you something else. Go
I was
ahead.
just going to say, have you guys tested, ugly landers like that versus the one that the client supplies, if you like, that's a little slicker? Have you done any split testing on that?
I like ugly. I'll tell you that. Either they're going to call it or not. If they're looking for free information, they're going to keep going anyway.
Hmm.
You got to see my AdSense sites. They're really ugly.
Yeah.
What could go on?
Yeah. Cool. Okay, looks like Brian is gone.
Yeah,
And
I think that's it, guys.
Where you at,
Yeah.
though? Where you at, Greg?
I'm in Sydney, in Australia.
Oh.
Yeah. Been doing SEO for about 8 years. And just starting to get into the lead gen stuff, with pay-per-call, and it all looks very exciting. I'm nicknaming this the traffic superhighway because I've never seen anything like it. It's absolutely amazing that you can go in and just start building. I mean, I know, I teach people SEO. I've got a course, and I can go in and I can look at the stats and I can see, and this is confirmed by most other people in similar situations, that about 85% of people will buy your stuff and they'll sit there and kind of do nothing with it, and they're going to get around to using it. About 15% will do something, and about 3% will actually do the right thing with it. So I gather that Lead Gadget is no different. That people are coming along, and it all seems very scary because, I mean, this is a super powerful system that it's almost like kryptonite or something, and I guess that scares a lot of people because they think, oh heck, I'm gonna press this button here and just like burn through $250, and I'm gonna burn through another 150 on this, and it's just like, whoa, and I guess for people looking for an excuse to sort of keep spinning their wheels, that sort of superpower stuff is kind of scaring them. And, it's really great having you guys on to share like this and, tell us what's working and what you've done in the past, because, I said, just from a newbie point of view with a different platform like this and a different way of doing things, it's pretty scary. You just think, oh wow, I'm going to commit resources to this, and like, is it going to work? Super kudos to you guys for helping us out. Love it.
So,
I got him back now.
yay!
Brian's back.
Yeah, well, I had to go on my phone because my laptop crashed.
Ah.
Literally. Like, yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, you can see it's rebooting now.
Can barely hear you.
I said I had to come back on my phone because my laptop crashed.
And now we're looking up your nose again. So.
Yeah, figures. I don't know how to take it off on here. There
Well,
we
great, Greg. To your point there, Lead Gadget is a tool. People are going to freak out, but I can tell you, I was after Brian posted he was going to do this tonight, I went over to Lead Gadget and just looking at the different contacts in that thing, or the people that are in the system. It's like half those people, or more than half the people that are in the list of people, are never inside the Skype group at all.
No.
So
if you look at the Skype group too, you ready for this?
Yeah.
I got rid of a bunch tonight.
I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Some that had been off for a while, some that didn't want to be in, and whatever. So I got rid of, I culled it out a couple because like Darrell Welter, he left. But if you look in there, I want you to think about it. 160 something people that are in there still.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
many people do you see a day in there?
But
Like
today
you
was
see
really
the
slow.
same people, and it's
Today
the
was
same
real slow.
20 that are in there, right?
Today was really, really slow. It really was.
Yeah, but when you look, my point is, Todd, when you're in there,
Yeah.
it's the same 20 people.
Yeah. Yeah. And every once in a while, when you get newbies come in, or a new guy comes in, gal, whatever, like, that's what we were talking about while you were gone, Greg. But that you got a course or whatever, and people, you might get 3 to 5% of the people that ever buy anything ever use it. So
Yeah.
yeah, Greg, I've got hard drives full of crap. You want some?
No, I got plenty of my own. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of hard drives of crap, did you check out that plugin I gave you, Todd?